put this in the ocean?
If you want to.
All right. So what are social investments?
We're a socially responsible investment firm. We have mutual funds, and we limit our investment universe to companies that meet our social and environmental standards. So we screen any potential investment to make sure that the companies that we are investing in are ones that have a positive impact on society, on the environment.
And what would those companies be?
For example, we follow the S&P 500, but we limit that investment universe by restricting companies that don't meet our standards. So, for example, a coal mining company isn't going to meet our standards. A tobacco company isn't going to meet our standards.
What other companies?
Tobacco, coal mining.
But what's wrong with coal mining?
It's not environmentally sustainable.
Meaning?
That it has a harmful impact on the environment.
How so?
How does coal mining have a harmful impact on the environment?
Right.
It does a lot of damage to the earth. When
like what? I'm not an idiot. I'm just asking a simple question. Educate me, because I don't see any damage to the environment per se when it comes. Yeah, I don't.
No, that's common knowledge that coal mining is.
No, it's not common knowledge. Like, well, where do we get electricity? I mean, you like electricity sitting over here, all lighted up, right?
Right.
How much electricity do we get from coal? Do you know?
I don't know the exact percentage.
Well, throw a number at me.
It's over 80%, I would say.
Well, I would say it's about 40%, but let's assume that your number were correct, 80%. So you're willing to throw away 80% of the sources of electricity and go back to Middle Ages?
No, that's not it. We invest in alternative energy.
How much electricity do we get from the alternative energy?
Right now, not a lot, but that's why we're investing in it, so we can build it up.
But you know that we gave $500 million to Solyndra, it went belly up. None of them works. Don't get me wrong, I'm not against the alternative sources.
Okay.
But only when they work. I mean, when they're competitive. This is, capitalism after all,
right.
Competition. So they can compete. And are you willing to pay, $10,000 a month for electricity? I'm throwing numbers around because that's how much it's going to cost, considering how much money is being wasted on alternative energy. They're just not competitive at this point, aren't they?
Right. All right. Well, that's your opinion, but that's not. But
it's not my opinion. I mean, my opinion. I would love to get all the sources of energy from the sun. You know how sun gets energy, right?
Right.
It's nuclear reaction. It's fission. It's not fusion. It's fission.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
But we just can't do it at this point.
But if we don't invest in it, we'll never be able to do it.
Okay, we invested $500 million. Wasted your money and my money. Wasted.
It's not wasted.
It went belly up. It became bankrupt. Isn't it a waste when something you give money? If I give you this pencil and you throw it away, to me it's a waste. You gave money to Solyndra, they build, invested in machinery and everything else, and then they close the doors. That's the waste.
There's always going to be companies that go bankrupt. Not every company is going to be a runaway success.
Give me one example of a electric company that is successful. One.
I'm not in the research department. I don't know the specific companies that we invest in. So I couldn't speak to that. But if you wanted to speak to our research department, they could talk to this much better than I can.
Well, I mean, you sort of represent the company. I assume that you're familiar with, at least some knowledge.
I'm familiar with what we do. I'm not involved in the research.
But getting back to coal, I mean, this is something that really bothers me. If you have a minute, of course. What's wrong with coal? I mean, specifically, what's wrong with coal?
We don't believe that it's environmentally sustainable.
How so? Explain it to me.
You would be much better off speaking to someone in our research department who actually makes the decisions on what meets our investment criteria and what doesn't.
Okay. All right.
if you want to take a brochure, we have our information services line, and you can get in touch with someone from the research department.
Okay.
And they would be better equipped to answer your question.
I see. All right. Good luck. Go coal.
Not quite.